At one point, I saw him sort of do a sweeping motion, and things seemed to go flying.
He over there knocking stuff off the table. You know what they should have done when he go knocking stuff off the table? They're like what they do to dogs when they put their nose in it. You know what I'm saying? When they should have took his head, put it down in the floor on top of the paper, rub his face in the paper. Say, now pick it up. Hey y'all, it's your girl J9 Eve, and early on in the Darrell Brooks saga, okay, I'm truly convinced that Darrell was convinced, okay, that he could annoy the judge enough to where she would just send him home. I really do think so, and this what we're about to watch is a testament to that. I honestly think that he thought that he could annoy her enough. She would just say, you know what? I ain't come here for this. And she would just say, you know what? Send him home to his mother. Okay. He ain't gonna have his house no more. He done crashed that. But, you know, he could just sleep under the house or something. Under the porch, under the front porch. Okay. He had to get a new TV. We got the old one. Let's see what's going on with the Darrell. You know, he's in one of his moods. You know, he's got many moods, and they're all equally as douchey. Okay. But let's just see.
I provided you yesterday as a courtesy with a copy of my oaths of office. My name is on that as well.
They were not certified.
You are attempting to disrupt with asking questions like this.
I am not.
I realize it may very well be related to your claim to be a sovereign citizen and disputing the
claim to be sovereign. That's correct.
Jurisdiction of this court, but these are not questions this court is obligated to
answer. I would
answer.
like to correct the record and say that.
Look at his posture. He got his arms tucked underneath of his body like so. Like so, much like so, okay? I would like to be sent home today, please. Thank you. How about no? Actually, yes. Your home looks different now. Okay, you actually got more space. He should have been happy. In all honesty, Darrell should have been happy. He got way more space now than he had before.
And I am sovereign.
All right, you believe you're sovereign. The record is corrected. So, Mr. Brooks, we're getting really close for you crossing the line.
Really close to crossing the line.
Being removed from the courtroom.
Look at that. He's like, he took that as a threat. He didn't like that. What you ain't gonna do is threaten me
for continued interruptions. I want you here.
To that, Your Honor.
Mr. Brooks, you haven't let me get in one sentence this morning. It is only it's 8:57. I want you to be here. Certainly my preference is for you to be here to participate fully, but you do.
Darrell's like, I know you want me here, girl. I know you want me here because I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm gorgeous and handsome. My mother told me so.
Do not have the right to disrupt the proper administration. I demand dignity, order, and decorum. You have been provided with the copy of SCR Chapter 62. That lists the responsibilities that myself, the attorneys in this courtroom, the litigants, it even applies, as you can see if you read it, applies to witnesses, jurors, those in attendance. Everyone here has been respectful other than you throughout these proceedings.
I object to that respectfully. I have not been disruptive, and I do not see any...
As he says, while he disrupts. I would like to disrupt you to tell you that I am not, in fact, being disruptive. Okay, get that right first. Get that right, okay?
Paperwork that you just described to be in front
Mr. Brooks,
of you.
I'm going to continue with a finding right now that you have flagrantly disregarded elementary standards of proper...
Flagrant. That feels like a word to describe Darrell. Wait, am I thinking about flatulence? I think I'm thinking about flatulence. Yes. I smell flatulence. And that'd be Darrell. Darrell don't know what flagrant means. Stop using them big words, Judge. You just confusing him, which is just gonna make him more agitated. Him no like to feel like he is, and him be stupid. Okay.
For conduct, that conduct will not be tolerated.
No.
You stating things even in a mild manner tone of voice doesn't change the fact that we've had a dozen or more interruptions by you and by you alone. When you don't like the answer I give, even if that's a non-response, you continue to ask the same question over and over. You repeat yourself. You show absolutely no respect for the court, for these proceedings.
Nope.
You have demonstrated in the short, not even 30 minutes that we've been on the record, that you will continue to disrupt. I am going to have the jurors brought in. Again, it is my sincere hope that you follow these simple and basic rules.
Good luck.
But the next interruption, you will be removed to the next courtroom.
I do not
I
consent
know that.
to.
I saw that one coming. I do not consent. Okay. Just like I don't consent to this 1,000 years I'm about to get either. I don't consent. Don't think that you're going to put me up in here without my consent. Okay. I know my rights. I have the right to annoy the shit out of you. Okay. Okay. It's my right as a sovereign citizen. Okay.
Need paperwork that is not based factually in law. I don't give my consent.
We have the jurors here.
And I do not, I will not agree to anything.
Okay.
So again,
He said, I will not agree to anything. If there's any reason to put him in the other courtroom, it's that statement he just made. I will not agree to anything. Oh, it don't matter what it is. Oh, nothing. I'm not going to agree to anything. So you talking to yourself right now, Judge. Okay. I'm not going to consent to anything. Nothing. Not one single thing. Name a thing. Nope.
with that title, I object respectfully. With that title name that is on your card, since you will not answer the question that I've merely asked of your honor numerous times at this point, can that title name please direct the prosecutor to answer whether there are any more charges? Can the title name please direct the prosecutor to answer whether there are assessment for the charges
Mr. Brooks.
in her possession?
You ain't even wait for an answer, stupid. Like, you just asking questions just to ask questions at this point. I mean, I'm not surprised, but sheesh. Oh my God. Exhausting. Okay. Exhausting. Can you imagine? I don't want to imagine.
No one's going to be answering these questions.
That's
okay?
right. I know that's
I'm not
right.
requiring a state to do that. I'm advising you to stop asking those questions.
request
It will
the-
be considered an He's interrupted.
I
Take him to the
request
next
the
courtroom.
title
Yes.
name
I'll
to
make
the-
Yeah. Get him the hell out of here is what I said. I'm going to need this thing up out of my courtroom. Pronto. Okay. Chop, chop, baby. Chop, chop.
More findings when he is in the courtroom next
do
door,
not agree
and
to
I
a
can
estoppel, Your Honor.
do that without
I do
an
not
interruption.
consent
I don't agree to this El Stapo, Your Honor. Okay. What you ain't going to do is El Stapo me. Okay.
or agree to a estoppel, and I will move the court again.
Currently, you are not muted. All right, Mr. Brooks.
Uh-huh.
All right, you can mute him. All right, Mr. Brooks, you have been muted so that I can make some appropriate findings here
know
this
that's
morning.
We got business
I
to handle.
understand that you
She said, we got business to handle in here. Ain't nobody got time for you, Darrell, okay? Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. It's so much easier. Hey, Darrell, it's so much easier now, ain't it? You just scooch him off to the other room and you get to do like your job and stuff. Like, you bring him in and nobody's doing their job because they can't, because he won't let them. And now he in there stuck being quiet. Even though he running his mouth, can't nobody hear him, which is a Darrell nightmare. Okay, that's Darrell's worst nightmare. Not being heard by everyone as he screams at them.
object. Your objection is noted. Your lack of consent is noted. And even though I made a decision not to answer questions, he keeps asking those. From my perspective, they are questions that any sovereign or sovereign citizen tends to ask regarding my name, my oath, jurisdiction, things of that nature. This court, of course, has authority from the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin, the statutes. I've been duly elected twice now by the citizens of Waukesha County to preside over criminal and other cases in the courts of Waukesha County. I fully am aware that Mr. Brooks, as a sovereign, disputes the validity of that, but from my perspective, they are not issues that need to be debated.
Ain't nobody debating that stuff. He better get his little behind on in the other room and just be mad. Just climb inside your feelings, Darrell. Climb inside of your feelings.
He raises these issues really just by simple statements. He has never...
Yeah. He raised the issues. He didn't raise his kids, though. You know, lucky for the kids. Okay, lucky for the kids. He was only raising issues instead of his children. Okay. They didn't know at the time, but they were blessed. They were truly blessed in that.
Filed an appropriate motion. Motions are governed by state law. Written motions require that the specific relief be requested, that the motion be based on law and fact. I've never gotten anything even close to that from Mr. Brooks. Even if I were to accept an oral motion, which can be proper at times, he has failed to follow the simplest of procedural requirements. He continues to be in the other courtroom. You can see on the monitor, he's standing, he's facing the other direction, he's yelling what, I can't hear him, but it appears that he is yelling. I muted him because of his interruptions of the court. And
Darrell, what is you yelling at? Darrell, they can't hear you. This is pointless what you're doing is what I'm saying to you, okay? It's you're wasting your time. Oh, well, I guess it don't matter. You got all the time in the world in there. I mean, all of it. All of the time. Like 1,000 years worth of time. Most people don't have that kind of time.
I understand he objects. His objection is, again, once is noted. And because of the disruptions, and based upon the authority in Illinois versus Allen, I also referenced yesterday a persuasive case. It's not at my fingertips. I'll get that for the record. It's the Pennsylvania case that I found to be of persuasive value, where a similar procedure was done. Frankly, what we are providing here in Waukesha County through the use of the technology we have in the court.
He is really hoping that they can hear him from over there. He's like, hey, look, they're going to hear me. Oh, you going to mute me? Is you? So I'm going to scream in here like a little girl. Oh, they're going to hear me. They're going to hear my wrath. The wrath of Darrell. Okay.
Is far superior to what was done in that Pennsylvania case. I have the ability to mute, to unmute. I can see him. He can see the 4 cameras in this courtroom right now. That would be me. It would be the table where I would like him to be seated. That is empty, the prosecution table, and then the witness stand. I am cognizant that the one limitation is the cameras do not pick up the jurors when they sit. There may be, depending on the angle on the witness stand, a few jurors that would get captured. But of course, he cannot see those. He's able to hear them, of course. I will instruct the bailiffs over there to give him a pad of paper if he doesn't have one already. I know he had some documents and some things in front of him. At one point, I saw him sort of do a sweeping motion, and things seemed to go flying. I'll get some verification of that.
He over there knocking stuff off the table. You know what they should have done? When he go knocking stuff off the table, they're like what they do to dogs when they put their nose in it. You know what I'm saying? When they should have took his head, put it down in the floor on top of the paper, rub his face in the paper. Say, now pick it up.
From the bailiffs who are over there through the bailiff that is in my courtroom. But he will at least be given a notepad, a writing utensil. He is advised that
look at this demon.
Should he want to raise a strike for cause of any juror, my procedure is to address that at the end. Certainly if something comes up before that and he wishes to do that under the law, he can simply
looking for a way
write
out
on the pad of paper.
Daryl in there looking for a way out. He's like, shit. Huh? Well, damn. You trapped, Daryl. You trapped. Okay, and you too little to fight your way out. Look at this. Look how this suit is wearing Daryl right now. Like, look at this. It look like a little dress. You know, Daryl, you got a little dress with a little split in it. You know what I'm saying? I like your gown, honey. It's very, very, very cute. Oh, look at you in your gown.
He has cause, hold it up, and I'll make a determination.
Do a little spin for us, Daryl.
If I should excuse the jury and then take up that decision. I'm probably not going to do that with frequency. He would need to further not only do that, but write on a piece of paper the juror number, the basis for that request before I would require the jurors to be excused to take it up. But that's the procedure that this court will follow. Just like I did yesterday, after I get through all of the questions, I will ask the parties if there is a request for any individual questioning of jurors, meaning outside the presence of other jurors. I would need to know, again, what juror number, what question they need.
Yeah, he messed himself up. He didn't even get to participate in the picking of the jury and stuff because he was too busy being a hot mess. He was too busy being an attention whore, and he couldn't even sit there long enough to help pick the people he was going to need to save his life. He was supposed to be in there saving his own life. Instead, he was in there just putting his feet in the toilet and fleshing, trying to see if he could get down in that pipe.
Need to be questioned about, whether that be a numbered question from the questionnaire or a question that was asked in court. Parties will also be given an opportunity to ask appropriate follow-up questions. Once that opportunity is concluded, I then have a few concluding questions, and then ultimately will excuse the jurors to take up the issue of strikes for cause. I've been advised that Mr. Brooks did throw some items on the floor, but he does have his paperwork and a pen.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't call it a pen per se. Maybe a sliver of pen, a piece of pen, a pen insert, if you will. But not a whole pen, no. He keeps his sliver of pen inside of his paperback Bible that he loves so much and respects. And, since he found Jesus, he says he always knew Jesus, but I say he just found Jesus. Actually, I don't think he found Jesus at all.
Go ahead.
I just want to make sure that we put on the record that it has been verified that Mr. Brooks can hear this court.
Do that, yeah.
Also that I believe I had heard that the juror questionnaires for the next set of jurors coming in have been provided to Mr. Brooks.
Thank you for that reminder. He has been provided with 2 additional binders. He probably doesn't even have the first one anymore because the first binder only went to juror number 41. He does? He still has it? Okay, so he has that binder. He has 2 additional binders, which are separated. I believe it's 42 to 70 and then 71 to 100 something. But it is the balance of the jurors who had been instructed to come on day 1. This is the jurors who were not questioned yesterday. It's not even all of them who will be coming in because of the physical limitations in this courtroom. We'll bring in 41. So he has been provided with those binders. Were we able to verify? We were able to verify the audio is working. The video is working, just like we can see him, he can see us. I believe I also have Attorney Anna Keys also.
He just got his arms crossed, y'all. Darrell's upset. He's like, look, this just isn't fair, like, I've always gotten away with everything, and then you guys, this is prejudice. Is it prejudice, Darrell? Is it prejudice? Tell us that it's prejudice. Oh, you poor thing. This is so prejudice.
Watching as well. along with at least one actually, I think I see 2 victim witness workers. So I have a lot of screens up here, a lot of boxes on my screen. So I believe the state has complied with victim rights. Would you please confirm that?
We have.
Did I overlook anything you asked me to cover?
Your Honor, the only other thing, and I think the court somewhat made a record by your findings, but I know that the defendant made 2 motions to dismiss for judicial misconduct. Again, I'd ask the court to summarily deny those motions based upon lack of merit, and he didn't provide any support for either one.
Yeah, granted.
I believe he did raise a motion to dismiss based on judicial misconduct. I think he also...
Ain't that something? He did all of that. Y'all need to dismiss these charges, honey. Because y'all are not conducting yourselves in a judicial way, okay? Because of the misconduct of your judiciariness, okay? Y'all got to let me go, okay? Hey, look, I didn't make the rules, okay? I'm just trying to. I'm trying to make the rules. I haven't, but I'm trying to, okay? You want a mistrial, Darrell? You want him to dismiss the charges, okay? What you ain't gonna do is el stapo me.
Also threw in there another request to stay the proceedings or file an interlocutory appeal. While that's really not something I would need to address because nothing's been filed as it relates to a request for an appeal, I will deny that summarily. There's been no basis in law or fact provided. I'll also deny the motion to dismiss based on judicial conduct. Based upon there being no showing in law or fact.
I know that's right.
Anything else then before the jurors are brought in?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
I will, just like I did yesterday, advise the jurors that Mr. Brooks is appearing from a remote location and that should not influence their verdict in.
Yeah, good luck with that. Oh, it's going to influence it, all right. If they didn't hate him before, which they weren't supposed to, because they weren't supposed to technically know what he done, like, you're okay. There's all types of stuff that I like see and run into on social media and YouTube, things I watch, and I'll ask people, like, say at my job, like, have you heard anything about this case or this thing that happened, whatever? And never have I ever asked about anyone, and everybody I asked was in some way familiar with this. Like most of the time, it's like I might find one person in there who's ever heard of anything about what I'm talking about. But this case, they're like, oh yeah, I remember that. The idea that they were gonna find some people that wasn't gonna hate Darrell, okay? Yeah, that's slim to none, okay? Slim to none. Oh, bless his heart. And even if they didn't know anything about it, check this out. That's even worse. Even if they did manage to find all these people to be on this jury, none of them had any idea who Darrell was. None of them knew anything about the parade. None of them, nothing. They still just going through this trial, just watching Darrell would hate him the same way the people who were aware of it. They all left there thinking the same thing everybody else was already thinking. What is wrong with this thing? Like, oh my God, surely there must be some extra punishment we can hand over to this guy. He need a little something extra, a little spice, okay? A little bit of spice, all right? You still yelling, Darrell? You gonna lose your voice, honey. You better cut that out.
It appears to me that Mr. Brooks continues to stand, make hand gestures, and talk. I will, again,
look at him.
Just advise him should he.
Look how he crosses his hands, y'all. He goes like, it's like a tuck. He just tucks his hands into the little pockets here, like he's holding his boobs or something. Like, what is you doing? Like, he just tucks them in right here. What you ain't gonna do, but y'all need to be listening to me, okay? You must have quit.
Desire to raise any issues with the court, he is advised to write that down on paper. The bailiffs are instructed to promptly provide that.
I think I've said this before, but wouldn't it be funny if he wasn't saying anything? If he's just like, if he's just looking like he's saying something and nobody else was in there with him, wouldn't that be funny? Like, If he was in there actually all alone, just him shackled to the table leg, and he's just in there pretending like he's jumping bad with people. That would be hilarious.
Either to the court staff that's in there or another bailiff, and that will be provided to me forthwith so that I can raise any issues of merit.
And just like that, per usual, you slay me, boo. You slay me. Darrell, you slay me, okay? That's what stop. You just do, okay? You just do, okay? Y'all behave, okay? No, y'all make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button. Go on and smack that like button, okay? Just do it. You got to be aggressive sometimes, with like buttons. Sometimes you got to put them like buttons in their place, Smack that like button, okay? Just pop it, because mama said so, okay? Hit the subscribe button if you have not already hit that subscribe button. I don't know what's going on. I'm so close to my 10K. Be a part of how I got there. I am about 47 or 48 away, about 40. I am 48 subs away from my 10,000 subscribers. Be a part of that jump me over the 10K. Go on and hit that subscribe button for mama, okay? Go on and do it. Just do it. It'll make you feel better. Well, it'll make me feel better, but it might make you feel better. It's just, how you going to know if you don't try? But y'all behave, okay? Because I'm not going to do it. Nope. Just not even talking about it. It's not on the table. Just leave it alone, okay? But mama love you though. She definitely do. She absolutely do. For sure. Peace.